Peter Mazukin from the Actis Real Estate Investors Club here. We're in Atlanta, Georgia today, and Kerrison Chin, our business partner, has set up a meeting here with Will. And you want to introduce yourself, Will?
Hi, how you doing now? Wilfred Luke. Uh, Currently an investor down here in Atlanta, and I have an inspection company, and we're starting a construction company.
Exactly. And Kerrison thought it would be a good idea for us to expand our opportunities. So right now we're exploring opportunities with Will in terms of a value proposition that he brings to the table. And the reason why we're doing this for you, the investors back in Canada, is we're always looking at ways that we can add value to the process, to the investments, and also to increase the level of accountability and transparency. So with that in mind, can you just give an overview in terms of what we've been discussing today?
Yeah. Let me just explain to you basically my philosophy regarding investing. Let me just briefly explain to you my background. I have a history. I was a general contractor out in California. I primarily developed what was considered residential infill properties, built it from the ground up. Back then I basically built the properties and sold them. Right now, after studying the different types of real estate models, I'm convinced that multifamily property investing is by far the best model that exists right now.
And the truth, I didn't tell you to say that, did I?
No.
Because I've been telling them the same thing, haven't I?
Hey, this
There you go.
this is actually based
Listen
upon.
to this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This
Please
is
carry
just
on.
based upon my experience in construction and in real estate investing, and where I'm at right now presently. No.
And in addition, I just want to add, because the segue was perfect, okay, that the economies of scale that we get with multifamily just dwarfs the returns you can get with single family, as well as the issues and the extra property management headaches. I mean, you have 100 units, for example, and they're all scattered about. It's like having 100 children. How do you manage them? It's tough enough to manage 2, let alone 100, right? Does that make sense?
Makes perfectly sense. As a matter of fact, let me add to that. The reason why I sold my properties, keep in mind, I specialized in duplexes and single-family homes when I was building in California. The reason why I sold those particular properties because they were scattered all over the place. It was a nightmare attempting to manage 10 properties in 10 different locations.
Kind of like herding cats.
Yes. So that was one of the reasons, unfortunately, why I didn't retain my properties. I should have, but keep in mind, I had the mind of an actual contractor and developer, and I built and sold. I should have actually brought in a property management company to assist me. But even more so, I should have been building apartment complexes as opposed to having those individual residential units, because what happened, you have everything that's in you. If you own 20 units, they could possibly be within one community. You have one mortgage, you have one roof system, you have one ground system, you have everything. Your property management team should be on site, so you're not necessarily dealing with these issues every morning. So no, it's no comparison. If you're gonna invest in real estate, multifamily real estate investing is the way to go. So that's not even an issue. But let me just
And we're going there. We're
Yeah.
going there.
but
So now how can we go there more effectively? That's what you were explaining right now.
okay, yeah. So here's the thing.
You didn't tell them about your other experience as well, where you learned how to negotiate with people. No? The one where you're actually a police officer?
Oh, okay.
You learned some lessons in that, how to deal with people.
Yeah, well, yeah. As a matter of fact, my background, I was a police officer.
Couldn't you tell?
Actually, when I was a police officer, I was actually a motor cop, if you can believe it. But I've always had an interest in construction, and what I would actually do is go to different various sites. And I believe,
With your police uniform on.
with police uniform and
Chips, Bruno.
and you know what? But I learned a lot of information from different contractors, different developers, and everything. But I do genuinely have a passion for construction and actually real estate investing. So,
You saw how those construction workers were doing it, and you're going, golly, I can do that better.
That's true. That's definitely true. But here's the thing. I guess with multifamily investing, it is a little more involved. It's a simple business. However, it is a little more involved than just maybe buying one particular property.
Absolutely.
You really can't do it by yourself. You need a team. And
We agree.
Team.
yeah,
We
you
agree.
definitely need a team, okay? Because there's the acquisition and sales part side of it, and that's involved. That's involved, and you never stop prospecting. That's just something that you just
Always be lead generating, right?
That's it. You
Exactly.
have to, okay? But now here's the thing. Once you purchase the property, what are you going to do at that point? I mean, whether you're a wholesale or whether you're just buying a rehab and sell or whether you're buying a whole, you have to have a system in place. Now, what I'm proposing to these gentlemen is actually to have an in-house construction company. And there's several advantages to that. Personally, what I bring to the table right now, presently I operate an inspection company, and I think I do a pretty thorough job when the due diligence portion. It's really important that whenever you embark upon investing, you really understand what type of property that you're getting into, And I'm not just talking about as far as the demographics and the actual location. I'm talking about the physical structure itself. It's important that you understand what you're about to embark upon. Of course, being able to do it in-house, you should, if set up properly, should be able to do it in the most efficient, cost-effective way. The other thing, of course, if you're going to buy, rehab, and then hold on to, you have to have a property management team that's really on top of it, So that's another aspect of the team that needs to be brought into. Now, keep in mind, whether it's sales and acquisitions, whether it's construction, whether it's property management, and of course, there's other members that's on the team, all of them have to work together. There has to be a certain level of transparency that exists. There has to be communication across the board in order for this venture to be successful. But I do know for a fact that multifamily investing compared to all other types of real estate investing, I think is by far the most profitable and the most wealth building model that you could use if you're going to get into real estate investing.
Right. And I would also like to add to that is one of the cardinal reasons here with multifamily investing is we, because it's not an I, it's a we can effectively force the appreciation by working collaboratively together on a transparent basis and each one being accountable to each other. And the fact of the matter is, by doing that, we can specialize in those key areas and the ideas feed upon each other. And that way we create something that hasn't existed before. And we can do that in a very condensed, short period of time.
Yeah.
Whereas in single family, we're waiting for everybody else. We're waiting for all the other properties to do the same thing before we can force depreciation. And rent controls cap that when we're in rent control provinces and or states like Ontario, where we're from, it's a rent control state. So the average rents have increased on average 3% per year for the last 40 years, and there is nothing that we can do about it in a rent control state. So if you're a savvy investor, you don't want to be artificially capped with rent controls. What do you think Kirsten and I are here in Georgia for? Because Atlanta is landlord-friendly state. Yes or yes?
That's right, it definitely is. And yeah, the fact that you purchase a rehabable single-family home and you just do a wonderful remodel or renovation job on the property, and you're limited by what the existing property
Around you?
that's just you're dooming yourself.
So where's the incentive
Yeah.
for the landlord to do that?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you why investing in commercial multifamily units is so great. One is in Atlanta. One, there's an abundance of those units that are kind of like that need to be rehabbed. So that's the first thing. So you're gonna get a great deal for your money. Two, if you have that in-house construction company, you're going to just simply build in value. I mean, you're going to increase the value of your property just through sheer construction. So the renovation is just as if you were buying a single family home, renovating it and increasing the value. So you're just going to have, but then more importantly, because those properties are going to rent better, you're going to increase the NOI significantly, because now you're turning properties that maybe didn't, rent as well as they should have. You're significantly increasing the occupancy because you're just offering a better quality a better product, because you now have control of that construction aspect of it, and now it's not dependent upon, because commercial properties aren't dependent upon the comps of the neighboring properties. So you could force appreciation significantly through proper property management. That's why all of this stuff has to work together. In sales and acquisition, you have to constantly prospect, look for the deals. The construction has to be efficient. It has to be where it's safe. It has to be efficient, and it has to be cost effective. And then on the property management end, it definitely has to be where it's marketed properly, so you could get that occupancy up, and you could actually take care of the residents, better. And
Quick study.
Yeah, hey, because that's what it's all about. I mean, we're providing a service to residents, So this is an excellent opportunity to do so, and then you're going to significantly increase the NOI, and then subsequently increase the value of the property.
In terms of occupancy, well, what type of occupancy does Atlanta currently experiencing for multifamily? And what do you feel, two-part question. The second part of the question is, what do you feel is realistic from an effective property management being in-house? What kind of occupancy, net economic occupancy, do you think is actually achievable?
Okay. The demand in Atlanta right now presently is so great for apartment units. There's no reason why any apartment complex should not be at 95% occupancy. Okay, so
I love that number.
Yeah.
95%.
95% occupancy.
Who wants to get a 95?
Okay,
Or more?
so
I do.
that's right.
So does Will. So
So-
does Garrison.
Yeah.
So let me explain to you why it's not. So the question is, why isn't it at 95% in properties? Two primary reasons. Either the units are down, or you just don't have effective property management. And once again, that's where the strategic planning is so important. You have to be able to identify as a group, as a team, exactly what's going on. It could be a management issue. It could be a marketing issue. It could be where the units just aren't being turned fast enough. But here's the thing: if you have an actual property and those units are actually rentable, there's no way that there should not be, with the demand that's here in Atlanta, because people are constantly looking for apartment complexes. I mean, if you look at all of the
They're
statistics,
constantly looking for safe, clean, affordable housing.
that's
It
it.
is a recipe for success. So we're providing it for them. We're providing that value. We just need to make sure that it's consistently provided.
That's it. I mean, it's not. It's just simply. Excuse me. I don't know of a safe, clean, affordable apartment complex that's not 95% occupied if managed properly.
Correct.
If managed properly, and that's the thing. And that's why, once again, I firmly believe that the investment group needs to have some sort of ownership interest, direct ownership interest in the actual property management company. It's not something. It's not something that you necessarily want to outsource.
Right. We agree. So we'll get back to you next report. Have a good one. Thank you.